In The Matrix Reloaded, the Oracle sent Neo to retrieve the Keymaker, an exiled program that would help him complete his journey. But to get to the Keymaker, Neo first had to go through one of the most dangerous and oldest programs in the Matrix, the Merovingian, also known as the Frenchman, the boss of the exiles, influential, cruel, and manipulative. But he wasn't always this way. There was a time when the Merovingian was the same as Neo, or at least that's what his wife Persephone said before she asked Neo for a kiss.
When we first came here, it was so different. He was so different. He was like you.
What exactly did Persephone mean when she compared the one with the Merovingian? Welcome to Matrix Explained.
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Persephone's comparison has long been the cornerstone of the theory that the Merovingian was one of Neo's predecessors, that once upon a time, he was the one. However, this was not what Persephone meant. Her husband himself told Neo that he had survived his predecessors, which implies that he was never the one.
Mark my words, boy, and mark them well. I have survived your predecessors, and I will survive you.
Some time ago, we discussed in depth one of the paintings in the Merovingian's chateau. That painting visually describes the character's history, of how this program may have existed since the Second Renaissance of the Machine War.
This is medieval times, and there's the rest of us. This is all us humans on Earth battling it out. And then above that, we've got heaven with the angels. But the angels aren't really just angels. The angels are actually manipulating what's going on Earth. And who's at the center of heaven but Merv himself? So it's all about him. Again, he's controlling everything that's going on in heaven and everything that's happening on Earth.
The Merovingian, once being an ex-Red Pill or human, has been ruled out since its introduction.
He's being held prisoner by a very dangerous program. One of the oldest of us. He is called the Merovingian, and he will not let him go willingly.
So to help understand Persephone's comparison, we must first cover what Neo's situation was in Matrix Reloaded. Neo lived his days in ignorance, a prisoner looking for a purpose. He found such a purpose once choosing to become a Red Pill. After that, all of his choices led him into becoming the One. Neo became the savior, helping other humans to escape the Matrix and protecting the young potentials still inside the simulation. Neo had found his purpose, though at the beginning of Matrix Reloaded, Neo was still lost. He was seeking the Oracle for help because he feared losing Trinity. He feared losing his purpose.
I wish I knew what I'm supposed to do. That's all. I just wish I knew.
She's gonna call. Don't worry.
Neo in Matrix Reloaded was just as lost as Thomas Anderson was in The Matrix. He was still a prisoner of the system without realizing it, something that the architect would later explain. Now then, the Merovingian was born as part of the Matrix system, possibly assisting the robots during the Machine War. Like Neo, the program was born with a purpose, but something happened that changed him. Towards the end of the first beta Matrix, something led him into becoming an entity that fought against the system. We know this because the Merovingian was the one who helped programs like Seraph, who was an agent of the Paradise Matrix, to escape. The Frenchman became the liberator of the exiled programs. Like Neo, who helped the potentials to awaken to the real world, the Merovingian helped programs to escape into the Matrix. They were both heroes to their respective groups. But also like Neo, the Merovingian was being controlled. The Merovingian would later reach an agreement with Persephone. He rescues her and then takes her as his wife. We can see the similarities between the two couples. The Merovingian's relationship with Persephone could have been similar to Neo and Trinity's. The two programs may have worked together to save exiled programs from deletion. The Merovingian possibly thought that he found his purpose in being an enemy of the system, just like Neo did, but he changed into a selfish and cruel person.
I am so sick and tired of his bullshit. On and on. Pompous prick.
The Frenchman now cheats on his wife constantly and was no longer altruistic or empathetic. He became an opportunist when helping the programs. So what could have caused this change in the Merovingian? The program could have had an existential crisis, just like Neo had after his conversation with the architect. The Merovingian may have realized that he, like the exiles, was meant to fulfill a purpose that was designed by the architect and the oracle. Many of you have asked us why the architect allows the Frenchman's existence to continue in the Matrix. The answer is simple. He and the other exiled programs still serve a necessary purpose within the simulation. Seraph, for example, was supposed to be deleted after the Paradise Matrix failed, yet the Merovingian helped him to escape to the next simulation. Seraph now serves as the protector of the mother of the Matrix. Therefore, for Seraph's purpose to be renewed, he had to meet the Merovingian. The Merovingian was unknowingly contributing to the stability of the Matrix. He could not escape cause and effect, and perhaps this is what changed him, losing his purpose and becoming lost, realizing that he doesn't make decisions. He was part of the cause and effect of the Matrix. The Frenchman then knew that he was being used and controlled by the mother and father of the simulation, and now he wished to break them.
Choice is an illusion created between those with power and those without.
The exiled program was awakened and could see the strings that controlled him. This is why he wants to destroy the Oracle. He is the anti-Neo, an evil program that wants to destroy the system that used him, taking advantage of those weaker than him and using them to his advantage. Regardless, the Merovingian cannot escape the clutches of the Oracle, because although he believed that he had finally destroyed her, it was still part of the Oracle's plan. She sacrificed her shell so that the Merovingian would help Sati to enter the Matrix. Another parallelism found between Neo and the Merovingian is the loss of love. Neo's love that he had for Trinity was real, but the architect said that he was programmed to feel love. The Merovingian did try to explain to Neo how easy it is to invoke or encode emotions through something as innocuous as food. He also might have known that the supposed love that he felt for Persephone was also part of cause and effect, which makes the stories of the one and the Frenchman even more similar and somewhat tragic. They were both used and controlled. They were programmed to feel love, to serve as a means to an end. Actor Lambert Wilson, who plays the Merovingian, is returning in Matrix 4. So will the program finally escape the system's control? Will he declare war against the Matrix and its creator? The Merovingian does have an army that has certainly grown since Matrix Revolutions, and he has access to constructs outside the system's control. So if anyone can wage war against the architect, it's the Frenchman. Who knows? Maybe in the end, it is the Merovingian who is the one who ends the Matrix, just not in the way that we thought. But do you agree? Was the Merovingian like Neo? Was he benevolent before discovering the truth? Will there be a war between the exiles and the parents of the Matrix? For Matrix Explained, please leave a like and subscribe. And thank you for visiting the Desert of the Real.